Thank you. Your Excellency, Sahle-Work Zewde, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Your Excellency, Clever Gatete, Executive Secretary of UNECA, Your Excellency, Dr. Ramiz Alakbarov, I'm sorry to pronounce it wrongly, UN Resident Coordinator and ASG, Your Excellency, Madam Hannah Tete, UN Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa, and Madam Bennett Diop, AU Special Envoy on Women, Peace and Security, Excellency Ambassadors, esteemed guests from international organizations and development partners, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. It is with great honor and pleasure that I address you today on the occasion of the International Day of Women in Diplomacy, with remarks focusing on the vital theme of women, peace and security. As we approach the 25th anniversary of United Nations Security Council Resolution 1325, we reflect on its profound impact in advancing women's pivotal roles in conflict prevention, resolution, and peace building. The four pillars of the resolution: participation, protection, prevention, and relief and recovery, have provided a robust framework for integrating the women, peace, and security agenda into policies and actions worldwide. National action plans have proven instrumental in demonstrating countries' commitment to implement Resolution 1325 in alignment with their specific contexts and priorities. In Ethiopia, the issue of women, peace, and security stands a paramount concern for our nation. The government expressed its commitment to developing the country's first national action plan in 2019 and embarked on a participatory process in the preparation of the action plan. Ethiopia has been taking progressive measures to implement the pillars of Resolution 1325, integrating the principles of the resolution into its national laws, policies, strategies, and action plan since its approval in 2000. As it has been also mentioned by one of the panelists, we have to also look into the ways that we can discussing about this issue, because it's been a long time and a lot of issues has been happened, and the situation then and now is different. Central to this effort is ensuring women's leadership in inclusion across all levels of decision-making. Sustainable peace hinges on women actively shaping policies that impact their lives, a goal that necessitates dismantling barriers to political participation, enhancing access to education and health care, and addressing socioeconomic disparities hindering women's achievement. In this regard, the government of Ethiopia has created a conducive environment for the participation and representation of women in peace building and conflict resolution at the grassroots level. But there is a huge gender gap at the higher level that we need to work on the peace and security architecture in a manner that recognizes the role of women, play in traditional structures. Attention has been also given by the government for building the capacity of women and girls in collaboration with women's rights organizations, women's participation, and representation, including survivors of violence during the draft of the recently endorsed transitional justice policy has been exemplary, and efforts are underway to achieve similar success in women's participation in the ongoing inclusive national dialogue. Madam President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, another critical aspect of women in peace and security is the protection of women and girls from all forms of violence, particularly in conflict-affected areas. Government of Ethiopia is committed to strengthen legal frameworks, enhancing access to justice, and providing comprehensive support services for survivors of gender-based violence. By addressing these issues head-on, we aim to create a safer and more inclusive society where every woman and girls can thrive. Furthermore, integrating a gender perspective into all peace and security efforts is also a key issue. This includes promoting gender-responsive budgeting and enhancing the capacity of security and law enforcement agencies to address gender-based violence and fostering participations with civil society organizations and international stakeholders as well. This aspect has also received adequate attention with the integration of gender into the curriculum of security and law enforcement agencies and enhancing women's representation within the institutions. Madam President, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let me now draw your attention to the participatory process of Ethiopia is following to develop its first national action plan. The Ministry of Women and Social Affairs is leading the process, supported by a technical committee composed of representatives from government sectors, civil society organizations, and UN agencies, and with guidance from steering committee at the ministerial level. Prior to the development of the National Action Plan, we have conducted a context assessment providing an overall of women in peace and security issues in Ethiopia. These are a normative framework review on the existing legal and policy gaps in Ethiopia regarding women in peace and security, and an institutional audit evaluating the work of relevant government bodies, as well as the existing human and financial resources and the gaps as well. These assessments will serve as the basis for the National Action Plan, providing insights on opportunities and challenges for the implementation of Resolution 1325. We are currently in the process of conducting consultations in each regional states and 2 city administrations to ensure the voices of diverse actors are reflected in the National Action. The consultations in each region and 2 city administrations bring together representatives from women groups and associations, representatives of security sector institutions, civil society organizations, customary and religious leaders, and the youth as well. Since the Ministry of Women and Social Affairs is responsible to look into the issues and empowerment of women, empowerment and participation of youth, empowerment and participation of persons with disability, and the rights and protection of children, and the rights and protection of senior citizens, and to look into the social security issues of the country. So we are responsible to engage all social groups to participate in the peace and security in a proper way. We aim to finalize and endorse Ethiopia's National Action Plan by the end of 2024. In this regard, the successful implementation of the NAP will require collective action and unwavering commitment from all sectors of the society. It demands collaboration between government agencies, civil society organizations, the private sector, and the international community as well. And this, in relation to this, I strongly believe that the support and contributions of Women in Diplomacy Network here in Ethiopia will significantly help to make the National Action Plan effective. So I just would love to say that I can count on you in this regard. Together, we must work towards creating an enabling environment where women's rights are protected, their voices are heard, and their contributions are valued. In closing, I would like to express my gratitude for the Women in Diplomacy Ethiopia Network and the UNECA for organizing this event, and thank all women who have served and are serving in diplomacy for your unrelenting services and inspiration to support all Ethiopian women and all women in the world. So a round of applause for their services, please.